Hi there, my name is Tanya McIntyre, and I am a new resident of Huron County. And somebody shared on social media a poem by G.A. Newton. It's called The County of Huron, and it's from the Huron Old Boy gatherings in Toronto. So it kind of hit me in the heart because I can certainly relate with having to leave my hometown to go to Toronto, being the employment hub of the country. I hail from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. So I want to read this poem because it's a great poem. And I want to commemorate it and put it on my website to do some shameless self promotion for my business post pandemic, as we're all doing the pandemic pivot. So here we go, The County of Huron by G.A. Newton from the Huron Old Boy gatherings in Toronto. The County of Huron, we're all proud to say, has turned out the noblest men of our day. A number from Huron have Sir to their name, and others have climbed up the ladder of fame. The old county town produced men of renown. Moser, Robertson, Cameron, Proudfoot, and Ross, also Garrow and Beck, who ran neck and neck. You hardly could tell which of them was the boss. The highest positions that Canada gives are filled by the men who in Huron lived. In the army are generals, in parliament men. When election is over, maybe premier then. The County of Huron, we are happy to state, is going ahead at a very good rate. And with the inducement that Huron can give, there is no place in Canada better to live. When I went to that county, I was but a lad. 'Twas hard to get there, the roads were so bad. We staged it from Stratford with a man called Wagner and stopped at a place then called Rattenbury Corner. It was then but a hamlet at that time, but in a few years you should see that place grow. It soon got to be quite a place of renown, so they called the place Clinton. That's Bob Holmes's town. There are several more towns in that county that thrive. There are Bayfield and Brussels and Wingham and Blythe. They all had their heroes and were delighted to own, such as Stanbury, Doc Graham, MacDonald, and Sloan. There's the old town of Wingham. It's sure no disgrace to tell any person you came from that place, for the citizens there fairly boost their own town, and so long as they do, it will never go down. There are people in Wingham, we must admit, who are fit for positions they may never get. There are Vanstone and Spotton who are still on the shelf, J.A. Morton, D. Holmes, and I live there myself. There, the village of Blythe, the industrial hive, the people who lived there just made the place thrive. For there were men at the head of affairs like McNally, McKinnon, Doc Milne, the Sloanes, and Pat Kelly. Then there's Exeter town that I know little about, but it must be a good one by the men they turn out, for Cobbledick, Crocker, and Hodgson we own could make a real place of any old town. They talk of big men that we have in the land, but Goderich can boast of what none other can. They have the biggest, the tallest, the smallest in sight, Jonathan Miller, W. Murray, and Joseph J. Wright. Did we not mention Seaforth? It would not be fair, for many a prominent man came from there, such as Govenlock, Wilson, Scott, Prendergrass, Gray, who've made the place famous in many a way. The soil of the county is the very best. It has been tried every way and stood every test. For all kinds of grain and other things grow, and its apples are famous wherever they go. They were farmers up there whom we knew very well, John Macmillan, Joe Fisher, and Humphrey Snell. There were breeders of horses, pigs, cattle, and sheep, and none but the very best kind would they keep. There's a spot in that county, it's dear to me yet. There are friends in that village I'll never forget. I lived there for years, so I know the place thorough. The place I refer to is Little Lonsborough. The County of Huron, no matter what's said, is the best of the province. The others seem dead. The Huron old boys and girls, we declare, who live in Toronto are proud they're from there. Now, friends of old Huron, I think I am through. For those rambling remarks I have given to you. If there's anything wrong with what I have said, ask Pridham or Moorish or our secretary, Ed. I just love that poem, and that's written by G.A. Newton from the Huron Old Boy gatherings in Toronto. Thanks so much for sharing that beautiful piece of Huron County. I am honored to call this place home, and I am in the beautiful town of Goderich. Apparently, the Queen called it Canada's prettiest town. I think it may have just been a really good marketing ploy, but I'm grateful to be here. And I hope you will join me on this journey of recovery discovery as I navigate this pandemic pivot that we are all sharing. Thanks very much. May the force be with you. And remember, you are the force.